Pisces, welcome back to the channel today. We are going to be doing your weekly reading for March 25th through April 7th. Wow, okay, Pisces, we got some big stuff happening for you here. Let's keep going. Now, we have a lot of major energy going on. Obviously, you have a lot of major arcana energy going on in your reading, but other than the major arcana, we have a lot of big energy happening, especially with the moon over these next 3 weeks, technically, because your first card on the 25th, March 25th, is actually a full moon in the sign of Libra. But this is not just any full moon of Pisces. I almost said Aquarius. I just finished Aquarius's reading. This is not just any full moon, Pisces. This is the first of the eclipse cycle that we will be going through. Eclipse season happens twice a year. It's about a 6-month time period in between. And the eclipse season is happening between the Aries-Libra axis. Now, this full moon is happening in the sign of Libra. And this full moon, what's going to be happening is it's going to be illuminating things within our life that need addressed or changes that we need to make for our circumstances, for ourselves. So this moon is going to offset a time over the next 2 weeks where you are reflecting upon the way that things are moving for you. You're reflecting on your life. You're reflecting on your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people around you, as well as your relationship with things, your work, your, hobbies. Everything is being brought to the light at this time with the intention of changing your circumstances, with the intention of changing things and working through them so that you can ascend to a higher vibration, so that you can, work through traumas and things that are holding you back from achieving happiness or contentment within life. So that Libra full moon is going to be illuminating. The next Monday is going to be the 1st of April, and this is also when we start Mercury retrograde. So things might feel a little chaotic. Your mind might feel very disconnected. You also might experience some setbacks, things that are trying to, things that are causing you a little bit of strife, like technology not working, travel problems, car problems, miscommunication. I mean, Mercury retrograde is famous for these things, so a lot of you are already familiar with that. And then the following Monday, which I don't have here because that's for your following readings, next 2-week reading section that we do, that is going to be when we have the new moon in Aries, and that is going to be part of a solar eclipse in Aries on that day. The new moon is the time where we set intentions. So all of the things that are being brought up over the next 2 weeks on that new moon, you're going to be able to look at them and say, these are the things that I need to work on or want to work on. I'm going to set my intentions at this time so that I can setting the intentions for what you will be working on or achieving over the next 6 months towards the other end of our axis, the Libra-Aries axis. Now, I did pull some oracle cards to start off your reading here, Pisces. We're going to take a look. Your first one here says Dove Spirit, which says be peace. Not be at peace. Be peace. Embody what peace is. Embody peace within your life. A lot of you are searching for peace, inner peace. You're searching for a missing piece, something like that, but you are already peace. Be peace. Embody peace. You are not looking for a missing piece. You are already whole as a human being. You are already one whole being. Your next card here is Porcupine Spirit, which says time for beginner mind. Porcupine. If you didn't know I was American, now you do. The time for a beginner mind. So a lot of you are going to be challenged at this time by being brought down to a beginner space. You're going to have to humble yourself a little bit. With a beginner mind, seeing things from a fresh perspective, seeing things as a new person who doesn't have the same initiation in the places that other people do. When you're new, you have such a fresh perspective. You can see things that maybe someone who's been in the space for a while cannot see. And because of that, you're able to, look at the way changes should be made so that everything can work for the better. It's also about allowing yourself the space, providing yourself the space to be a beginner, not hating on yourself for not automatically knowing how to do everything. I think a lot of us, we can all relate with that feeling of being afraid to start something new because we're afraid of being made fun of, or being afraid that we're not going to know what we're doing, or that we'll make a mistake. But a beginner makes a mistake because they simply don't know any better. It's almost a naivety and ignorance in a way, but not in a bad ignorance, not in a bad way. Not ignorance because you don't care to know, but just simply because you don't know. It's part of the learning experience, making mistakes and learning from them, taking that wisdom, the experience you learn from, taking the wisdom with you so that you can do better in the future. And cow spirit. It says the miracles are endless. Look at how pretty and beautiful this cow is. Like a flower crown. So cute. I love cows. So pretty, so cute. So the miracles are endless. So be peace. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Have peace with the fact that you will be learning something new and that the miracles are endless. Things can have a way of changing and moving when we least expect them, in ways that we don't expect them to. So allow yourself the openness and the opportunity to see new things happen for you, Pisces. Let's start on your tarot. So as we said, your card for Monday, March 25th, for the Libra full moon, the lunar eclipse that is going to be happening, you have the World card in reverse, Pisces. The World card is the last card of the major arcana. It is the 21st card, or numbered 21, but it's the 22nd. It's weird because, the World card. This signifies a completion. This signifies an ending. Pisces, the thing that the moon is illuminating for you, the thing that is illuminated for you at this time is, I feel like you want to move into a new world for yourself. You want to move into a new opportunity. That feels very much like portal jumping. So some of you are trying to jump a portal into a new world, a new reality for yourself. I don't mean like astral travel to some other weird planet. I mean, like maybe some of you are, I don't know. Strange things happen out there. But what this is I feel like a lot of you feel disconnected. You feel like you are living on the other side of something. You are living in one place. And you have this idea over here of what paradise should look like, or what your world, what your reality should look like. And you're trying to figure out how to jump from your current location to this other location. You're trying to figure out how to bridge the gap. The World card is literally that piece, that ending. But with it being in the reverse, you haven't gotten to this place. I think a lot of you are trying to get to this place where there is peace, be peace. You're trying to jump this reality, jump into this new world, portal jump into this new space. I think the thing that's being illuminated for you is not just necessarily how to get to this space, but the way that this space is already slowly meshing and integrating with the world that you currently live in. I think a lot of times people assume that, vibration ascension is something that happens automatically right away. It's often a lot more subtle than that. It's something that slowly meshes itself together over time, and then one day we find that we are, completely transformed. Now, Pisces, your next card here is the Eight of Wands in reverse. So this change, this new world that you want to jump into for yourself is not happening fast enough. This Eight of Wands in reverse is saying that you want this thing so badly, but it feels like the harder you try for it, the further away it gets. It's like a mirage. I literally am imagining like a mirage in the desert. You're trying so hard to get to this image within your mind that's kind of hazy, a little bit different. You're trying to get here, and the closer you feel like you're getting, the further away it jumps. Feels like you start to think you're there, and then it goes further. And so I feel like a lot of you are kind of struggling with that idea of like, it's not here. It's not here. Where is it? Where did it go? What am I doing wrong along this way? And that leads you to the Knight of Wands in reverse. Like, why am I not able to manifest this world for myself? Why am I not able to create this reality that I want? Thinking that there must be something wrong with me, when in reality it's just that, you know, maybe the world you're trying to reach for doesn't exist like that. There's a healthy balance between realism and dreaming. There's a healthy balance between allowing yourself the space to dream big and also being realistic. You can dream as big as you want, but you have to also have your feet on the ground. You can have your head in the clouds, your feet on the ground. It's that delicate balance between dreaming and doing that we have to find. And I think some of you are thinking that there's something inherently wrong with you because you can't manifest this thing. And it's like, that's not the case. I think that it's just the image, because I'm seeing a mirage, and so I think what it is that the image in your mind it's just that. It's a intangible thing that I think you're having a hard time reaching it because maybe you haven't seen a real life example of what this would look like, what this world would look like. How can you know how to get there if you've never been there? How can you know that you are there if you've never been there before, right? How will you know the signs? Doubting your power, but your next card here is the Magician. This is the manifester. This is the alchemist of the tarot. This is the person who takes energy. They're able to take water and turn it into wine. They're able to take dirt and turn it into gold. And by doing so, they're able to transform the very nature of one object, an object that a lot of people discount as something that is invaluable, or not invaluable, something that is not valuable, something that is dirt, literally garbage with everywhere all around us that everybody takes for granted. They're able to take that dirt and morph it into gold, morph it into something profitable. I don't just mean profitable in like a capitalist kind of way here, Pisces. I mean like profitable for you, something that gives you a good return. I think a lot of you have this magic of being able to take your negative circumstances, or being able to take these, or literally this reality that you're in, that you're trying to jump from, being able to take this reality that you find yourself in and turn it into one of magic. Time for beginner mind. As I said, this is a world where you probably have not been before. This is somewhere that is completely new to you. So getting that clearer image of your mind of what it will look like is really difficult because you're trying to imagine something you've never seen before. It reminds me of like in old-timey paintings and stuff, or old-timey like stories, when someone would go and try to explain what they saw to another group of people, like explaining what a giraffe looks like to other people who have never seen a giraffe. I mean, people would think you're nuts. This is something with a super tall neck and horns, and it eats leaves with this like purple tongue as long as my arm. Like, it sounds like a crazy monster with spots all over its body, tall as a tree. It sounds wacky, right? When you're hearing it as someone who maybe has never seen a giraffe before. But someone with the idea in their mind, they've seen it, they know what a giraffe is, you know, someone's going to be able to recreate it a lot easier than someone who's never seen it. And so I think that that's what's happening, Pisces, is that you're trying to create something you've never seen before. You are not the one that is wrong, Pisces. I think that it's just that because there is that disconnect, it's hard to know how to get somewhere when you've never been before. You're trying to find your path. Your next card is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So, Pisces, yeah, you have this idea in your mind. This is the idea. This is the thing. This is the thoughts, actions, intentions, willpower. This is not just manifestation. Like wands are manifestation. It's our drive to create. It's our manifestation, the work we put in to bring something from the intangible of the mind into the tangible world. But the swords are the intangible. They're the intangible thoughts, the thinking process of the brain of how to get here. A lot of you, as I've been saying, there's this clarity that needs to occur. Clarity about where you are trying to go that needs to happen. And it's really hard because, like I said, like I've been saying, you've never been there. How are you supposed to know and get clarity when you haven't been there? I think one of the ways you have to do that is you have to find someone who has been there, or at least someone who's been pretty close, right? And talk to them, learn about their experiences, get with other people and figure out, you know, how can I try to recreate this for myself? And not in like a following way, not in like a copying sort of way, because obviously your own journey is your own, but at least having someone on the way who said, hey, I encountered similar problems, here's what I did to navigate it. Finding someone who's been through similar things can be very helpful and can probably help you navigate this as you go. Time for beginner mind. Yeah, beginner mind. You don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know until you start, too, until you encounter it. So trust that, you know, you are being led along this way for a reason, that even if you might not necessarily know exactly what it is you need to do, the beginner mind of taking care of what you can, figuring out what you can, gives you pride too, you know? Figuring out puzzles like in video games without having to use a guidebook is very fulfilling. It's you know, having pride in what you have managed to accomplish and figure out on your own as well. So allow yourself to be a beginner. Don't think you have to be perfect. Don't think you have to have answers, all the answers right away, Pisces. Your next card here is the Hanged Woman in reverse. Now, it's always funny when this one shows up in reverse because this is all about finding a new perspective. When you view this card from this position, the person's hanging upside down. But from the reverse, this person's right side up. So, are they really right side up? Is the world the one that's upside down? Or are they upside down and the world's right side up? It's all about perspective. Finding perspective, shifting your viewpoint. Shifting the viewpoint from thinking that you have to be perfect or that things have to happen this way on this timeline, right? If you've never been somewhere before, your itinerary can come across a lot of problems. It can come across a lot of blockages or things that just throw the whole thing off. So don't go into it with a firm fist about how things are supposed to happen. Supposed to happen. Don't hold on too tightly to the expectation of how things should go. Allow things to move. The hanged person, the hanged woman, the hanged man, is an individual. This is literally the card in the tarot right before the death card. I mean, literally, these two showed up right after each other. Hanged woman straight to death, right? This is that last breath, that moment of in-between. This is the in-between. This person has one foot in the world of the living and the one foot in the world of the dead. They are straddling the divide between these two worlds. And as we said at the beginning, Pisces, you're portal jumping. So this is oftentimes when people have that life flashback, their life flashes back before their eyes and they look back on all the things that they have accomplished, all the things that they have been through at this time. And it's that last breath as they let go and they take their step from one world and they fully immerse themselves into the next world, the world of the dead. I'm not saying that you will die, Pisces. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that this is that moment between the portal jump. This is that moment where you find your feet in both worlds. You're straddling in this in-between space. And you know, it can be very hard to let go, but this is about looking back at the places that you have been and allowing them to die, allowing yourself to let go, because you cannot accept and move into a new world still holding on to the old one. If you want to live, it's like the Little Mermaid, right? I'm thinking about the Little Mermaid right now, where she could live in the world of the mermaids, live in the ocean, or she could live in the world of the people. But by doing so, she has to let go of the world of the ocean. She has to let go of the world that she knew before so that she can move into this world where she doesn't know everything and it's a whole new experience. So you have to let something go in order to move into this space that you want for yourself. With the Death card being in the reverse, this can be a very difficult ending. I mean, death is messy, you know? Death oftentimes leaves us with unfulfilled things. It leaves us with loose ends that need tied up that we'll maybe never get the answer to. It leaves us with, figuring out things on the other side while people are on the other side from us. And it can be very hard to let go. It can be very hard to move on and accept that. But I feel like, Pisces, in order for you to move on to this new life, you have to let something go. You have to accept, let go, and move on. Moo! Cow spirit. The miracles are endless. So even though you are moving on, even though there are things happening, ending for you, trusting that there are more miracles along the way. There is good stuff for you still. Moving on to week 2, Pisces. You have the Queen of Wands in reverse for your card on Monday. This is April 1st, the start of Mercury retrograde, and the start of the 1st of April. So a lot of us end the month of March. This feeling of, some of you feel like you have unfinished business. Some of you feel like you're, trying to, or you at least want to put your foot forward into the best way of starting this month. But sometimes things just don't always happen that way. The Queen of Wands in reverse is about your confidence, Pisces. I mean, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse too. And the progression is literally from the Knight to the Queen. So a lot of you, that your confidence is shot. Your idea, your ability, not your ability to manifest, because you can still manifest. But your thoughts about this manifestation, your feelings about it, about your ability to see this thing through is being called into question within yourself. A lot of you are doubting your ability to live life in this new world that you want. I almost feel like, this is almost like finding yourself on an alien planet. When you move to a new world, you move into a new life, there's new rules, new things that have to be done. If you are trying to move into a new life with the expectations of the old world, it's not going to work as well for you. You have to adapt. You have to adapt to the changes. Time for beginner mind. Time for beginner mind. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be new in this world, like a little baby. Your next card for Tuesday is the Knight of Swords in reverse. This is 100% Mercury retrograde messing with your mind, Pisces. Mercury retrograde is coming for your brain. This could be very well a day where you feel very chaotic within the mind. You feel as though things are confusing, like you cannot get a thought or a sentence out properly. A lot of you could even be calling into question your thoughts or decisions from the past, but I would caution you to not make any rash choices. This feeling is being brought up. This idea of reevaluating your decisions is here. But I would say you're still on a very good path, Pisces. I feel like I would avoid making a decision about this because this is just a moment within time. This is just a blip, a speed bump along the process, along the way. So don't go overcorrecting and totaling your car because of it, right? I don't mean that physically. I don't mean I'm not telling you specifically to avoid car stuff. But that's just what I'm seeing in my mind right now. Driving your car and coming across a speed bump. Don't overcorrect and cause a crash for yourself. It's just a speed bump. Don't, stress yourself out thinking that you have to completely derail where you were trying to go. Just allow this speed bump to happen. It's just a little pause, a little break. It's still follow and trust that you are on the right path. The miracles are endless. What feels like a speed bump could often be something that brings us to positive new things here. Your next card is the Fool. This is literally the first card. This card doesn't even have a number. Its number is literally 0. It's meant to represent the endless possibilities of new beginnings. This is not the first step, but rather this is the everything. Everything and nothing is all encompassed in one space. And from the nothing becomes the something. I mean, the Magician is card number 1. So, the Fool, time for beginner mind. The Fool is literally a beginner. This is starting from nothing, from absolute zero. Starting from the endless possibility of moving forward. Even though it feels like a speed bump, it very well could be something bringing you to a new opportunity, towards this endless potential of the world. I mean, you literally have the first and the last card of the major arcanas in here, Pisces. So you are 100% preparing to start some sort of new cycle, some sort of new thing for yourself. Now let's keep going, because your next card after that is the Princess of Cups in reverse. This is your only Cups card in this entire reading, Pisces. Pisces is a water sign, so Pisces, this card could very well indicate you and your energy. The Princess of Cups cautions against making emotional, rash decisions based off of your feelings. This person, if they are not careful, they can end up lashing out because of things in the moment that is stressing them out. So I would just caution you to not make rash decisions. And when you actually look at these two cards, you have the Fool card followed by the Princess of Cups, right after each other. And you can see that the color palettes on these cards are very similar. So I feel like you may find yourself in this beginner space and you end up so overwhelmed that you just feel like it's like an overprotectiveness, over defensiveness about yourself. Time for beginner mind. Allow yourself to be a beginner. Don't stress out about trying to do the right thing all the time. Don't stress out about trying to do the correct thing all the time, I should say. Because this is about honoring your emotions. If you're getting overwhelmed, it's okay. This is a new space. But don't allow it to cause you to make emotional or rash decisions, especially decisions that could, cause you to lash out and hurt other people unintentionally. Your next card for Friday is the Six of Pentacles, which is about finding balance. This is also sometimes about philanthropy. So this could be the moment when you connect with the person that we were talking about earlier. The person that is able to give you that, at least their roadmap of how they achieved this thing. Remember how we were saying earlier about connecting with somebody who has maybe been on a similar experience as yourself? And listening to their advice, getting an idea of their roadmap, because even if it's not exact, we're all on our own different journeys. So of course it's not going to be exact to your journey, Pisces, but they can provide us helpful insight. If they have a similar roadmap and they've been through similar things, they can help provide us some insight, some goals, some things to be aware of so that we don't make the same mistakes, so that we don't have to go through the same pain that maybe other people have. And, we can choose to learn from other people. The Six of Pentacles is like that helping hand that reaches out, that, just helps guide you, helps keep you on track, gives you that, pulls you up by your bootstraps kind of energy. This is the person who gives you that helping hand so that you can help yourself moving forward. Now, your next two cards here, Pisces, let's talk first about the Four of Swords in reverse. Moving forward with this, you need to be cautious about how you are spending your energy. Don't overdo it. The Four of Swords is about finding rest and healing. It's about taking things easy and not overworking yourself. If you overwork yourself, you can end up in a point of pain. You can end up overdoing it and causing yourself injury. So, trying to build this new world for yourself, trying to move towards this new life, don't overdo it. Don't stress yourself out. Don't try to force it to happen so fast that you end up hurting yourself in the long run. We had that dove spirit. Be peace. Be your own peace in this moment, Pisces. Be your peace. Be peace and allow things to flow naturally and flow in a way that doesn't harm you. And your very last card here from your tarot, Pisces, is the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is about taking action, or in your case with this being in the reverse, thinking about taking action, or the lack of action. The Three of Wands comes after the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is the decision between two paths. The Three of Wands is the action that we take to move along the path. So this is not just making a decision, but this is acting upon a decision. So some of you are coming up on some sort of decision. Some of you are coming up on some sort of action that needs to happen. Some of you, with this being in the reverse, as I said, this could just be you becoming aware of the action that you need to take. Not necessarily being in a place to apply this action. But I feel like a lot of you are actually being confronted with the action that you need to take and feeling a resistance to having to take it. Some of you, this could be illuminating some action that you need to take that you're maybe daunted or scared about doing. It's very possible that person gives you some insight. That person from the Six of Pentacles gives you some insight. Tells you that they need you, or tells you to do something that you are just really unsure about. But I feel like a part of you knows that that's the right answer, but I almost feel like you're afraid to acknowledge that as the proper answer. I feel like a lot of you are going to try to find a way around that advice. This person gives you advice and it's not what you want to hear, so you try to find your way around it, only to end up having to do things that way anyway. So, Pisces, we have one last card here for you. I pulled a card from my Universe Has Your Back Oracle deck. I have pulled this with the intention of leaving you for the weeks here with a positive message from the universe to help you in your path moving forward. This card, y'all saw me just shuffling just now, but you guys got the same card as Pisces. You are Pisces. You guys got the same card as Aquarius, which says, my outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. So you guys got the same card, even though, as you saw, I shuffled. It just happens sometimes. It's, similar energy happening in similar places. So your internal condition determines your outer experience. So if you are feeling internal chaos, if you are expecting the worst to happen, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you are expecting the worst outcome, then you will act as though the worst outcome is already here, which is going to end up attracting the worst outcome to you. And once this worst outcome occurs, you're going to affirm it with yourself. Oh, I knew this all along. I knew it was going to happen like that. And so then it just kind of builds on itself towards the future. You start thinking that it's going to be always like this, and you start narrowing your mindset on the ability to accept that things happen outside of this pattern. So keep track of your internal condition throughout these 2 weeks, Pisces. Keep track of your internal condition, the way that you are viewing the world, your relationship with the world, because it is going to affirm your outer experience. It's going to create your outer experience. The law of attraction, it's almost like rendering in a video game. You are the center of your universe, Pisces. You are the center person experiencing, and the world is almost rendering around you. And so what you are thinking in your mind is going to render into the outer space around you as you move through life. So think positive thoughts. Make sure that you are moving towards things with openness, intention. Be peace, not just build peace, but be peace. If you be peace, Pisces, if you can be peace, you will experience peace in your outer life. If you can be peace first, if you allow peace to happen within your internal condition, you can see peace reflected in your outer experiences. Pisces, that is where I'm going to leave off this week for your reading. Thank you so much for being here today. Please feel free to leave me a comment. I really want to hear what you guys think. I really love hearing about your experiences. I want to talk to you about how you feel. I want to hear what you have to say. So please feel free to leave a comment and we can start up some conversation about, the things that you're going through. I hope that this reading was able to help guide you in some way along your path here, Pisces. And thank you for being here so much from the bottom of my heart. I hope that you guys have a good rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the next reading.